What's up, everybody? Welcome to Rats on Film, the show where a bunch of film rats celebrate the holidays. Today on the show, we are doing a new format in honor of the holiday season. We're going to be doing a blind ranking of holiday movies. On the show with me today, I have Chris.
Ho, ho, ho.
Madeline.
I'm back.
Tim.
It's slunk season, boys.
And I'm your host, Xander. Welcome to the show, everybody. I don't know what that reference is.
What that means.
Sling, slang, slunk.
Oh my, from the Grinch.
From the Grinch.
I get it now.
Wow, fake Christmas fans.
Oh, I get it now.
Well, I'm very holiday open.
Sure. Yes. I guess, yeah.
You went really straight down the denomination route right away.
Listen, I'm one of the strongest fighters in the war on Christmas. I'll let you decide which side.
Okay, so basically, it's the holidays. We thought we would do a little special episode for it, and we've been kind of toying around with the idea of doing a blind rank format for a little while. And there's so many holiday movies. There's a bunch of subcategories we considered doing, but we thought maybe we'll just throw everything in a hat and do a little random blind rank. So the rules that we're following for this is I've compiled a list of 55 holiday movies. We have 10 slots we're going to fill. Once we've agreed on a slot for a movie, it cannot be moved. So keep in mind when we're doing it, if we put something in the number one spot, that's the number one spot. Doesn't matter what else comes up. Bad stuff might come up. Good stuff might come up. We don't know. The other rule we're following is if nobody at the table has seen the film that gets pulled, we can do a redraw. But if anyone has seen it, we're going to just have to let them vouch for it of where it should be and take their word for it or not.
It's like Rats Yankee swap.
Yeah, that's right.
Festive.
All right, let's get into it. The first movie that we're going to be ranking, The Holiday, 2006.
Yes,
Wow.
let's go.
This is one of Madeline all-time
I
favorite
love
Christmas
this movie.
movies.
Does anyone else?
I've
Has anyone seen it?
Chris, have you seen
I
it?
have not seen it.
Xander, have you seen it?
I have not seen it, and Jordan's actually been trying to get me to see it for a little while now.
Okay.
It's on our list for this year.
Yeah, it's really nice. It's romantic. It kind of covers the whole holiday season from like December through New Year's. It's not particularly like Christmas focused, but I love it. It has amazing music as well. It's been used a lot on TikTok these days, but
Yeah, Hans Zimmer. I
Hans
believe.
Zimmer, yeah, did the music. Jude Law, Cameron Diaz, Jack Black, Kate Winslet, great cast.
It's kind of like, it's a bit of a Love Actually vibe, but sort of like pared down from Love Actually's like huge ensemble. This is more just like these two couples.
Basically, what happens is Kate Winslet is in love with this guy in London and he doesn't love her. And then in the US, Cameron Diaz has just broken up with a cheating boyfriend and they both decide to swap houses for Christmas and they just go and live each other's lives basically for a little while. And they both meet a man and they just sort of have their little holiday season and then they all come together at the end. They all know each other.
It's really cute and wholesome, and yeah, it definitely
really
gives
quaint.
you the warm and fuzzies. I'm gonna make the pitch that this is a number 5. Madeleine's giving me a look because I know this is like, she's probably gonna like, what would you say, 2?
Yeah.
Yeah,
On my own personal list.
on your
it's
own
a 2.
personal list.
But
I'm
like,
gonna
you gotta
say,
think about what might
Yeah.
I'm
come
gonna say
up.
5. I think this is a really good holiday movie. I think maybe there are some movies that have more of the
Christmas
Christmas
Yeah.
vibe to them.
Okay, and because these guys haven't seen it, I'm
Yeah,
happy to
because
just
they
put it
haven't
at
seen
a 5.
Yeah, I was going to say 5 too because I don't know it.
But you know,
but I
it's,
know
like,
people
loved.
like it. Yeah, I know
Yeah.
people like it.
I agree.
So I know there's going to be stuff that comes up that is bad potentially that would definitely deserve to go below.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I also know that for me, there's
There's a few
favorites on the list that there's no way I would rank lower than this having not seen it.
Yeah.
So I feel like the middle is a good spot for
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Let's start with the
I
middle.
wouldn't be comfortable putting it anywhere below 5,
No.
but yeah, it's maybe just safer to leave it at 5 and not go
Yeah.
higher.
All right, I like that.
I'll do
too.
that.
We say that and then we're going to get all trash.
Yeah.
And then Madeline's going to be
yes,
so
yes.
upset.
Well, we're about to have a movie night and to watch this.
I like that.
Next up, Klaus, 2019.
Oh,
I haven't seen this one. I'm maybe the only
Wow.
person here who
Yeah,
hasn't
okay.
seen it.
That is surprising.
Yeah, I missed it.
Madeline and I just rewatched this one.
Yes. Yes.
and I watched it when it came out, so a few years ago at this point.
Yeah, a couple years. I think this one's great. They did all the basic stuff tens of years, like decades ago, And then they started to try and get creative with how they were going to tell holiday stories. And the Santa origin story has been done before. Like there are other Santa origin movies. But I think this one being from the perspective of a mailman who meets a guy and then becomes Santa is a really, really cool idea.
Yeah, it's really original and it's really beautiful. And it does hit all like the mythical Santa beats, like how he, you know, he laughs and he does his ho ho ho, like all that kind of stuff. But it is a bit more grounded and like more folklore kind of vibes.
Yeah.
And again, beautiful music, beautiful animation.
Yeah, it looks so great.
The animation is incredible. This 2D that they purposely shaded to have this 3D look is just incredible.
Yeah, it's really unique.
Yeah.
And it's just the performances in it are really great. I think Jason Schwartzman is awesome. I think J.K. Simmons in his first round as Santa. He does a great job. And it's got a lot of heart to it. Like I watched it again and it really did hit me.
Yeah, the relationships and especially between the mailman, I forget his name, but the mailman and Santa, like the relationship that they build, just it's like an enemies to friends kind of thing where they just like reluctantly have to work together because they've started this whole project. And then at the end when it's like, oh, like he left, but I still see him every year. Like it's really nice.
And Tim loves it.
I have not seen it. I have never heard a bad word about this movie. The animation style that from what I've seen is really enticing to me. And sort of like Madeline said, that folklore aspect really intrigues me. I think that's a fun take on Santa. However, it manifests in the movie, I'm not sure. I feel like this sounds to me like a 2 or maybe even a 1.
I was going to say a 4.
Based on how you guys are talking about it.
I like it a lot, but I think there might be stuff that's better.
I have to keep
Yeah,
my
we have to keep it open.
See, I'm with Tim. I would aim higher. I wouldn't have put it 1 because I feel like I do got to hold. There's a couple things that I think would go above this if we got them. But I don't want to go lower because what if we don't get any of those things? And this one is one that I really, really enjoy.
I feel like I'm being
Should we do
cautious.
3?
I think 2 or 3 is what I would aim
I'll
for.
go 3. I'm being too cautious.
I'm just going to go with whatever you
I'll go
guys
3.
would.
3's fine.
3.
Okay. All right, let's put it at 3. It's a really, really good one.
Yeah.
Next up, Violent Night 2022.
Oh,
Okay.
Have we all seen
We
this?
all saw this
We all saw this
together.
together in
yeah.
theaters. Yeah.
Once again, I'll say the same thing. They've gotten creative with what they're doing for holiday movies. Bizarre premise. They went, what if Santa was John Wick?
Yep.
I don't think it really delivers on that promise of what it's set up to be, but I do appreciate the attempt at doing that.
Do you think it's really fun? And the moment I always think about is that when he's like fixing himself and it's just that weird music and you just see him shirtless with these like runic tattoos.
Oh, yeah. He's like
It's
like a Viking.
Santa.
Yeah, it's so funny for some unknown reason.
Yeah, it's a wild take on Santa. It's a bit Die Hard. I mean, there's some like Christmas movie references, like Beverly D'Angelo from Christmas Vacation is in there. And I agree with Xander, though. I don't know if it fully delivers on... I mean, it's an amazing premise. Like, it should be a movie that I love. I don't really love it. So that kind of... There's something that's holding me back.
The action's just not good enough for it.
Yeah, it's not my favorite kind of Christmas movie. I enjoyed it. I had fun. I thought David Harbour was hot as Santa.
That's insane.
That's really important.
Our first hot Santa on the list.
Yeah.
I don't know if I agree that he's hot Santa, but I mean, maybe hotter than some.
Yeah.
This to me feels like a 6.
I'd even go lower.
I would say maybe 7.
I would be fine going lower. I'm more worried about what else might be in here.
No,
but
I feel you.
it's got
a hot Santa.
And it has a real movie feel, which we can't say for maybe some things that will come
It's an
up.
actual movie that came out in theaters.
Yeah.
It's not a bad movie, but it's not a great movie.
Yes,
right. And I feel like we said that, I've not seen it, but we said that The Holiday was great. So I feel like this has to go a bit below The Holiday.
All right.
7. We got to save room for other ones
or
that
8.
Are maybe great. Yes, I'd say 7 or 8.
Either's fine with
Let's
me.
go 7, just in case.
Okay, we'll go 7.
Some real movies exist.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, Krampus 2015.
Okay. I've seen it.
I have not seen it.
I was about to watch
Has
it the other
anyone else
day,
seen it?
and I have not seen
Okay,
it.
Tim's seen it, so
Take it away.
it can go.
Okay. Krampus it's kind of in the Violent Night mold where it's, an edgier take on Christmas. It's a horror comedy. It's a fun movie. I kind of feel similar about it as I do Violent Night. It doesn't fully deliver on the premise of a scary Christmas movie with a crazy goat man.
Are the kills
killer.
not that good? Because I feel
don't-
like that would
I
really
don't
disappoint
remember.
me.
Yeah, I mean, I saw it a while ago. It's been, I don't know, like 7 or 8 years now, but I don't remember any of the kills off the top of my head. So
Was
that's
it
not
funny?
necessarily. I had
Okay.
fun with it. I think there was some funny bits. I
Here's
don't
the big
know.
question: do you like it better than Violent Night?
That's what I'm trying
It has
to.
Adam Scott in it.
That's what I'm trying to determine in my head. I feel like this is tough. I feel like maybe Violent Night had a greater potential that it didn't reach, whereas Krampus I like about the same. I didn't mind as much that it was just sort of like mid-level B movie kind of vibes to it.
I'm gonna pitch we put it below Violent Night just because if we're putting these in the just okay category and then 5 is already the
the
great
holiday.
category, there's got to be some middle ground
Yeah.
for us to leave a
okay.
spot between them.
I'm definitely fine.
We
with
can go
that.
with 8.
Yeah,
8.
I think 8 for Krampus. Yeah.
I don't think I could handle seeing the holiday next to Krampus.
Oh, we got a good one, guys. How the Grinch Stole Christmas, 2000.
Yes.
Oh,
This is an all-time banger Christmas movie. It has no right to be as good as it is. It's bizarre. It's a weird take on the Grinch. It's amazing. It's so good.
it's so weird and off-putting, which is probably why critics didn't like it at the time. But like the camera
Every shot
angle,
is a Dutch angle.
Yeah.
every shot is a Dutch angle, which is perfect for a Seuss movie. There's no straight lines in the set design. Every costume, every person's makeup is insane and bonkers. It's all really shot kind of on a soundstage, which you would think is a negative because it feels wrong, but it feels artificial in a very good way.
The sets are amazing. The costumes
Oh,
are
yeah.
amazing. Everything looks so good.
Yeah, everything still looks good. Like you still watch it every year, and the way that it looks holds up, the jokes hold up, the performances.
So
Like you
quotable.
just have to give it to Jim Carrey. Like,
Jim
come
Carrey
on.
is so good in this.
It's iconic.
Yeah, I've been a fan of him my whole life.
Yeah.
Just like grew up with all his 90s stuff, and this is one of his all-time best performances
Yeah.
in a comedic capacity.
I mean, you gotta appreciate recreating the look of Dr. Seuss in live action, which is,
It's been done a couple times, not super great.
but it works here maybe because it's like a cute little storybook, but also it all just feels kind of like gross too,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
a bit grimy.
Yeah, especially like the Grinch is there and everything.
Yeah.
Well, I also love in this one, kind of in the vein of Klaus, where the Dr. Seuss book, it's a kid's book. It's short. The original animated film, it's short. They
Also
really
great.
expanded on the backstory of the Grinch and what leads up to the night he steals Christmas. And I think all of that is awesome. I love the way they did it. I think it's great.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
because you're seeing it through the eyes of a little girl who's actually discovering that everything that she's been told is kind of fake.
Yeah.
And that she has to discover like the reason for the season by herself. 1 or 2.
I think it's got to go 1 just because are we going to get one of the ones that would go above
I
it?
don't know. I'm
Yeah,
Just
I
to
don't
be
know.
safe.
Just to be
Just to
safe,
be
I guess.
safe.
I'm
Yeah,
not
I
going to be
think
mad with this at 1, right?
Yeah,
I
you're
think
right. You're right.
I think
It's definitely not my favorite, but it's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
And if we don't get one that we all think is better,
Yeah.
we're going to be annoyed.
Yeah.
And this won't annoy us that this is top.
Yeah,
I
no,
think-
it won't annoy
yeah.
us.
All right, coming up with a classic, Frosty the Snowman, 1969.
This is the animated
This is the
one, right?
animated
Animated
Rankin and
Frosty the
Bass.
Snowman.
Have I seen this?
Well, if you say that,
Yes.
I don't think you have.
I showed it to you last year.
Okay.
Yes, you have seen
Where
it.
he was like standing in the field
He's like a
and the kids came.
yeah, he's like a little chunky snowman.
I'm going to be honest, this is not one of my favorites
Same.
of the Rankin and Bass.
Yeah. I mean, I do
specials?
fondly remember it, but like if I had to pick one, this is definitely not one of my favorite ones. It just doesn't have the kind
Yeah.
of charm that the other ones have.
Watching it last year again for the first time in a while, I was like, yeah, I don't know.
It's got a good song.
First of all, the fact that it's hand-drawn animation rather than the stop motion of Rudolph and some of the other ones, loses a bit of the charm.
I literally didn't know it was Rankin and Bass until this year.
Yeah.
Jordan watched it,
Yeah.
and she was like, "Oh, I'm watching the Rankin and Bass Frosty." I was like, "That's Rankin and Bass too?" I didn't know. She's like, "It looks just like." I said, "Yeah, but it's not stop motion."
The song is classic,
But it's not
Is
from
it originally
is it?
from
No,
that?
it's
I actually
not.
don't know.
but
Didn't they just build most of them around songs
yeah,
that already
most of them
existed?
were-
Yeah, they're built around songs that already existed. So
I will say, I did not grow up with the Rankin and Bass things, and Tim only showed me them for the first time last year. And I would agree, like they're cute, but this one just doesn't have the aura that the other one does.
Yeah, this one doesn't stick with me. I like a lot of the other ones much more than this one.
Yeah,
It's cute. It's fun. I mean, it's classic. I grew up with it my whole life, so it's one of the oldest ones I've known. But it's
It
not
just
one
doesn't
that
hold
I.
that
It's not
space.
one that I go back to.
Even though I've watched it a lot, I don't even remember exactly what the whole thing is
They
about.
put a hat on his head, and then he comes to life, and then they run around the
Yeah.
town causing a ruckus. And
And
then
there's like the magician.
yeah.
Oh yeah. See, like I haven't watched most of these Rankin and Bass ones for a while, but I remember the plots for most of them pretty well. This one I didn't remember any of that.
I think that says something.
I think it's probably number 10.
Number 10.
Number 10.
Dude, you're crazy.
God.
Oh, sorry.
What if we
there's a
get
nine.
Hot
I
Frosty?
forgot the first off, Hot Frosty's number 2.
I was gonna say,
but I forgot.
I was gonna
forgot
say
nine.
6.
Yeah, but then is it really better than Violent Night or Krampus?
Well, I guess maybe that's
has
just
that nostalgia.
nostalgia. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Like I don't
guess
know.
so.
Like I don't know if I'm ever really gonna go back to Violent Night or I mean, maybe I shouldn't go back to Frosty. Like I don't really have any reason to.
I'm with you. I was gonna say 6 for nostalgia as well. But I mean, I could admit that that's what it is.
I think that's fine.
There's no way it's 10. I could see the argument for 9.
Well, I forgot 9 that we didn't
But-
fill
Yeah,
9
because
yet.
he
There's
wrote
no
themselves.
way we're putting
Yeah, he
10.
wrote them terribly.
Yeah.
I'll give
What?
you
Okay.
6.
We can go 6. I'm fine with 6. I understand your logic, so I'm
And it
I'm
might
down
be
with
the only like Rankin Bass, so it might just be holding
Yeah,
the
holding the torch for the
yeah,
rest of them.
exactly. Yeah.
Well, we'll find out. Okay. 6.
Madeline's gonna be so excited. Eloise at Christmas,
Oh my gosh.
2003.
This is my favorite Christmas movie of all time.
We just watched this last year, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never
Well,
seen it.
Malin
never seen
watches
it?
I've never
every
seen it.
single year.
Well, so does Jordan, right?
Yeah, Jordan does
Yeah.
love it.
Okay, well, let me take it away. If you're familiar with the concept of Eloise at the Plaza, it's just a little precocious girl that lives in the Plaza Hotel with her nanny, played by Julie Andrews. Incredible. There's also a big lineup of Christmas heavy hitters in this. Christine Baranski, Tim Curry, Jeffrey, the Grinch guy. Anyway,
Tambor?
yes, him. But basically, it's this little girl who lives in the Plaza, and she uncovers a plot that the heiress of the Plaza is being married for money, and she wants to reunite her with her long lost love of the waiter that is Eloise's best friend at the hotel. And it's just a really cute little story. They go shopping, they have cute little outfits, great Christmas decorations. I've been watching this since I saw it on TV in 2001, and I watch it every year. It's made me visit the Plaza multiple times. It's like Home Alone if it was a little girl.
It's sort of like the ultimate Christmas fantasy for a little girl, which is live at a fancy hotel.
Everything's provided.
Room
Yeah.
service.
Yeah, buy, all the gifts you want, whatever. And then get up to little adventures and make two people fall in love. Like,
Yeah.
That's...
I mean, I just saw it first time last year. I find it cute.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah, I think, unfortunately, as a fully adult men,
Yes.
we're never going to have a connection to this movie.
Especially since I
But,
didn't see it.
like, I can't really say a bad word about it. Like, yeah, it is what it is. And it's, it is really cute. It's very enjoyable.
I won. Number 2.
I was going to say number 4.
Yeah, I'll give it to you, number 4.
I was going to say number 2 because we're down to the wire here. And
How many have we
like,
got left?
We don't know.
There'll be
what else
3
can
more.
show up.
3. Okay.
The
I mean,
the
if
thing is, though,
you know where I want to put it.
I'm with Chris. I think I'd put it number 4 because there are still a lot of good
Yeah.
ones.
And we already
that
made
could
sure that
show
our
up.
number 1 wasn't terrible.
Yes.
That's fair.
Number 1's not terrible. Save 2, and we got 2 bad ones. This one's not one of the 9
No.
or 10, but I think 4 is good.
I think
4's
four is
good.
fine.
Four.
Yeah, I'm fine for it. As long as the key is that I keep Malin happy.
And she doesn't kill all of us.
Yeah, because I've already got the holiday at number 5.
Okay.
So Eloise and the holiday back to back. I'm happy with that.
All right.
Okay.
Write it down.
I'm heavily weighting the list in my favor right now. So
Next up, a fairly new one, Happiest Season from 2020.
This is well. Here's the thing. I was about to
Malin.
say this is another favorite Malin's. The truth is just that she watches like every Christmas movie.
okay, yes, but there's no way this is 9 or 10.
Yeah, but is it number 2?
Has anyone?
What
Have you
is
guys
it,
seen
number
it?
10?
I have seen it, yeah.
Yeah,
I like
See,
it. It's good.
This is the thing where like Eloise should have been 2 and this should have been 4.
yeah, but we did what we said.
I mean, we can
Yeah.
talk about it a little bit.
Yeah,
The thing is, though, we also could make the argument there's other movies that could go too. Like, We'll Be Annoyed.
Yeah.
but it would be really funny.
It would. This is a good one. I
It's
liked
good.
it. Of recent Christmas movies, we talked about Klaus being a good recent one. I feel like Christmas movies are not in a good, or our holiday movies are not in a good spot lately. But Klaus was great, and then this is the year after. And this is also a really fun one. Kristen Stewart's great in it. It's a fun twist on the going to see your partner's family at Christmas and the drama that ensues from that.
Not a lot of LGBTQ Christmas movies
mainstream
out there.
ones, especially that came out in the cinema.
Yeah. And so for it to be not just a movie featuring a gay couple, but to actually be about what it's like to be a gay couple at Christmas time,
Yeah.
you know, meeting a family who's not necessarily okay with that.
Yeah, and great performance by Kristen. I love the way that she performs, and especially in movies like this where she doesn't have to be so serious. Aubrey Plaza is really great in this as well, and the whole family. You know, you've got Mary Steenburgen, who another Christmas icon. Victor Garbo, I think, is the dad.
Victor
Yeah,
Garbo.
amazing. And then a really great soundtrack as well. Some really good original lesbian Christmas music. So
Yeah,
good.
Tegan Sara.
Yeah,
and,
Tegan Sara.
Sia.
Yeah.
Now, I've only seen this once, but my recollection is that her partner is kind of a dick to her
Yes.
in
Yes.
the movie.
And she should end up with Aubrey.
That's,
Correct.
That's actually my main issue.
Yeah.
Is like she's
should have left
such
her.
an asshole.
Yeah, and it kind of, I remember it bothering me so much when I watched it, where I was just like,
I
I actually
agree.
don't want them to end up together at the
Yeah.
end.
I agree.
The Mackenzie Davis character. Yeah, she's such an asshole. And like it's part of the story because like, you know, she's, you know, been pressured by her parents to, you know, be straight and all this
She's
stuff.
like the perfect daughter.
So you
in
feel
the
some
family.
sympathy for her, but like she's such an asshole.
Yeah, I don't think she ever redeems herself. I don't think Kristen should
No.
have gone back to her. But
This is
From
tough.
the way
I'm
you guys are
conflicted
talking
about
about
this.
it, it has to be number 2. There's no way it can be
It's
below
tough.
the other ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
for
thing is,
me-
it doesn't deserve to be below some of the stuff that's
Yeah.
there, but it might deserve to be below one of the last 2 entries we get. That's the problem.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm willing to risk it.
Personally, I would
put
put it behind the holiday, and maybe we've messed up with putting Frosty at 6.
I
instead.
tried to tell you to put Frosty
to be
lower.
honest, because then we could have
Tried to
slotted
tell
this
you.
at 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we're gonna have to put it at 2. Also, just because who knows what's
Yeah.
coming next.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this is fun.
Could
All right.
have
it's
listened to
gonna
me.
be a 2. Next up, the Lego Star Wars Holiday Special
Wow.
from 2020.
I'm surprised this is on the list. I mean,
Are you the
I'm
only one
gonna
who's seen
guess
it?
I'm the only one who's seen
Oh,
it.
I've
Yeah.
seen it.
Oh, you've seen it?
Yeah, I watched
Big
it.
old nerds here.
Can I tell you though? I've never seen the original Holiday Special, which was also on the list.
Well, that would have been a very easy 10th place.
It could still be.
This I would definitely say is 9th because it's not bad.
No,
It's not like amazing. I don't really even remember that much
me
about
either,
it.
dude.
But I remember watching it and enjoying it for the amount of time it ran for.
Here's my review of it. I like the Lego humor. The Lego games, if you've ever played them, have a very specific sense of kind of like child violence humor. It's kind of like Tom and Jerry-esque. And it's a lot of visual gags, which I appreciate. So I remember being like, haha, at some of the Lego based jokes that they made. I couldn't tell you what a single one of them was. Watched it and went, okay, I've seen it. I think Tim's right. 9th is pretty good. But
This feels like a 10th.
honestly, I might put it 10th because we
have to
might
hold
get something.
space.
We might get something that's
We gotta hold
that's
the
good.
space.
It's nothing special necessarily.
It's the holiday special, dude.
Yeah.
It's got special in the title.
But it's fun. It's just fun to see characters you like, I guess, taken in a very different direction and, you know, things being a little loose. And
But it sounds like it should be 10 just in case. Something
I
better.
would
Holding
argue
space.
I would argue it should be 9 just in case there's something worse.
But it's kind of funny at this point.
Madeline, what do you think?
Let's just give it 9.
I'm kind of with Chris. I kind of feel like it should be 10, but at the same time, anything that's going to come up that I'm going to be passionate would be better. I'm going to be pissed anyway because it's going to be
That's
low
funny.
anyway.
Yeah.
So
All
like
right.
9 or
Let's
10.
go 9, and then whatever it is it's gonna be either really funny
Yeah,
or really
yeah,
make
yeah.
sense.
I
that
think,
it's number 10.
it's more funny to
Save 10 for last.
Yeah, to lock the last one into 10 no matter
And it's gonna
what.
Yeah.
be the best thing that we've
Yeah.
ever seen.
Yeah, Elf, number 10.
And I kind of, just thinking about it, kind of want to rewatch the Lego Star Wars Holiday
He's trying
Special.
really hard to make people want to watch this thing that we put in 9th place.
All right, you guys can watch the last number generator
It's gonna be
roll.
a number that you already did.
Yeah, it might be. Love Actually.
You know what? I'm kind of sick of that movie. Let's put it at number 10.
To be honest, I'm glad because I don't like Love Actually, so I'm happy with it.
I've only seen it once. I
spot.
barely remember it, so I don't really.
I'll defend it. I like it. It's
I
not,
like it
it's not
too.
a favorite for me. I would, if it was a blank slate, I would have put this in the mid range.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of get what you're saying about being tired of it, but I think it's a really enjoyable Christmas movie. It's doing the multiple stories, that interconnect thing that is a little bit played out at this point, but at the time it was pretty cool. And I think that they tie together pretty well, and it's a fun resolution for most of the characters.
I really like it too, and for a long time I would have put it up very, very high, but in recent years The Holiday has eclipsed it, but I still like it. I'm retiring it out of my rotation for a little while, but
Need a
there's-
break.
It's a good cast.
It's a good cast.
Yeah.
Like there's some really great emotional moments, like the Emma Thompson crying to Joni Mitchell. Like that just gets me every time. And yeah, you've got some characters that you hate, like the Alan Rickman character. There's plenty that you love, like the little kid, like some really great stories that all resolved together. And yeah, when it was done, it was original. All the others knocked this one off.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it had come up earlier, it wouldn't be at 10 for me, but it's not Elf going at 10, so I'm fine.
I'm the naysayer. I don't think it's outright bad, but I like the hot take of saying that it should be 10, regardless of the fact that it's locked at 10. I came to it late, overhyped, I think, a little bit.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I also came
Yeah.
late. I
Maybe
get that.
if I watched it again, it wouldn't bother me as much. But I just remember not really particularly enjoying almost any of the storylines. There were a couple that I thought were fine, but I don't know. Some of them were annoying. Some of them like straight up like creeped me out.
Yeah, some of them have aged pretty
Some of them have
poorly.
aged poorly.
Yeah, it's hard to go to a movie that everyone's talked about forever and you haven't seen it,
listen,
and you watch it the first
it's
time.
going 10th. It doesn't matter what we say. I would not have put it high. Like if this had come up early, it would not have been high on the list. It would have been 5 or 6 for me
Yeah.
probably. Just because
Yeah.
it's not one that I hate, right? It's not a bad one.
Yeah.
And there were bad ones on the list, guys. We got to
I
mix
saw
back.
that
I
red
don't
one
actually,
was on the list.
Not as bad
I don't
as I
actually think we
thought.
got that many bad ones.
I don't
Yeah.
think
We
I
could've
don't
got
think
some
really too much bad.
Too bad.
Yeah, we didn't get any Princess Switches.
We didn't get Red One. We didn't get Santa Claus Conquers the Martians. You know.
Yeah, this is pretty reasonable. People just put it on a pedestal that I think it needs to be brought
You
down.
mean
a
you
peg.
need- you
and
need
then it
to-
can find
yeah.
a new appreciation for what it is, which is fine.
Well, again, it's because for a long time, like we were talking about this the other day, the Christmas movies of 2003, they really killed it. Like they were holding the space for so long. There wasn't anything else good coming out.
All right. So the Rats on Film, objectively, in our forced opinion, starting from the bottom, for Holiday Blind Rank, Love Actually, the Lego Star Wars Holiday Special, Krampus, Violent Night, Frosty the Snowman, The Holiday, Eloise at Christmas Time, Klaus, The Happiest Season, and The Big Cheese, How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
You know, by just the very nature of this, we're not going to be super happy with all of the choices.
happy with
But
the
to be
Grinch.
honest,
It's not
I'm
bad.
I'm a lot
Yeah.
more okay with this than I thought I was
Yeah.
going to be.
I
thought it
didn't
was
know
gonna go
how it
really
was going to
bad.
go with the blind rank.
Yeah.
And it did not go poorly.
No, I thought
It's
it went
pretty
really
much
well. The list
roughly.
is
It's pretty much
yeah.
roughly there. There's a few maybe swap
Shuffle
around a little
around.
bit, but the general idea of it is there, and none of them are really that bad.
No.
Like I wouldn't not recommend any of these.
The middle thing, the whole middle of it would have been different for me, but I will say, of this list, The Grinch would have been number 1 for
Yeah,
me. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
we at least got that.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, and you know what? I referenced the Grinch at the beginning of the episode. No one got it, but
You manifested.
Yeah, the Grinch is taking the top spot.
Well, happy holidays from the Rats to all of you. We'll be back in the new year to talk about and rank more movies. In the meantime, you can follow us, Rats on Film Pod, Letterboxd, social medias, and wherever you get your podcasts. Happy holidays, everybody.